Hello everyone, today I'm joined by a very special guest. Today I'm joined by Pete Eley. Pete is a very experienced Ultimate player who has played for Sublime in 2008 to 2018. He then played for Ellipsis and helped start Ellipsis Men's in 2019. He's represented Australia with the Dingoes in 2016 and 2020, and he was on the Crocs training squad in 2022. This year he'll be playing for the Barramundies, and he's going to be helping us do a breakdown of the Sublime vs HOS game. So welcome, Pete. Very, very stoked to have you here with us.
Awesome. How you going, Jules?
Yeah, good, man. Very, very stoked and very, very excited.
I'm just glad we got there in the end with all the technical difficulties. Before we start, I actually don't know. This game, was this a pool play game?
This was played on a Sunday.
On the Sunday?
So maybe not a pool play game, actually.
No, it's not pool play.
Yep.
Anyway.
The boys did try very hard.
I guess I asked because, when you're coming into a game blind, I have no idea about this game. It's kind of nice to know the context, to know, is this a must-win game, or does it not really matter that much? And if it's a must-win game, teams will do something really, really different. But what was the vibe? This was we are winning this at all costs.
I think that's the Sublime mentality. Even at the last game, they were like, no, we're going to go out there, give it our all. They want that win, as you know, that Sublime mentality.
Yeah, okay. So the boys are playing to win. I mean, you're obviously always playing to win, but sometimes, some wins are more important than other wins, if that makes sense. If it was the last game of a pool play and it didn't make a difference if you win or lost, maybe you're resting some players, or if it was a quarterfinal, you're just throwing absolutely everything at it.
Yeah, 100%. All the boys were playing, which meant that, they definitely wanted it.
Yeah. Because it really influences the way, the things you do and the strategies you're doing.
So while we got you here, Pete, so Pete won't be doing a commentary. That will be linked down below. Pete will instead be going for more of an in-depth type of look in terms of what to look for or what might be going on.
Yeah. This first set, heads of state, area and offense, obviously. Your first defensive set that Sublime have thrown out that's a really nice block, by the way. It seems to be a little bit junky. And what I mean by junky is it's not exactly a hard match defense. You can sort of see you end up with one player, this guy out here is completely unmarked. And instead, you have this person at the back here, just sitting at the back to stop the deep strike. And you've got a couple of defenders here on Sublime who are kind of just floating and picking up anyone taking the under. And it's a really nice D set to sort of interrupt the initial flow that heads of state are trying to do. So heads of state will call an offense, and that defense sort of stops it and forces them to go to plan B, which is kind of what you always want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and this is a really nice block. It's kind of hard to tell who it is.
That would be Radu Alexa, who is currently...
Yeah, athletic dude.
Yeah, very, very athletic dude. Good guy as well.
Yeah, it's quite clutch, actually. Huge. So your D-boys come out completely firing. To get a block on the first offense is huge. And it's a little bit disappointing here. I think at this point here, I'm sort of looking at... I don't know exactly what offense is Sublime play on the turn, but you've got your two defensive handlers ready to go, and you've got 5 players downfield, and there's not a lot of order with what's going on. I see a couple of the boys, the middle two here, there's a little bit of confusion about who's doing what and what's happening. And by the time, is it Bennett? Bennett gets the disc, and by the time he gets here, there should have already been, your two primary two, they should have already committed to something. Already been moving.
I actually do remember them talking about this before. This was a bit of miscommunication between...
Yeah, and this cut here, this is a nothing. He hasn't had time, whoever it is, didn't have time to set it up, and just does a dinky little nothing cut under and doesn't get it. And the moment that person doesn't get it, that's actually fine, but Bennett needed to then pretty much just engage the dump straight away. Don't mess around when you're in the corner. There's no time. Instead, he looks at that inside, and that's quite the cutter's running this direction, and the throw's on the inside. which is, not ideal. And then it's a turn. And that's like a critical term in the context of this game. Like, you have a chance to get a 1-0 break up at the very start. Like, you have to be taking that. And it comes back to, I think, like, at this point, but as Bennett's walking to the disc, he should be, or the boy should know, or Bennett should be calling something out. So, like, there's a plan in place. And so you don't get in this situation where there's a nothing cut, another nothing cut, Bennett tries a hard throw, and it's a turnover.
Yep.
Feels bad. It happens, though. But huge defensive pressure from the Sublime guys to get a block on the first point is, like, massive. If you can send out the other team's O-line 2 points in a row, that's, like, that can really change the flow of the first half.
Yeah.
Like, pressure builds. Yeah, nice. But I remember hearing about this game, and it gets a bit heated later on, doesn't it, Jules?
The boys want to win on both sides, I think.
Yeah. I would also say HOS and Sublime, they both have the dog in them, that is for sure. There's no doubt.
100%.
Sublime is now an offense. They're setting up with 4 handlers back. So it's a four handlers back in a horror set. I think. I don't know if that's something they intended, but that's how it looks. And what happens up the line? Yeah, that's a nice little cut. Yeah, this is looking quite nice. Seems pretty easy down this, like, open side, doesn't it? Yeah.
Monty Mazeray.
I can't imagine Monty like that one too much. On that offensive set. It didn't really matter in the end, but I know, like, ideally in this offensive set, the moment that disc comes here, the open lane is here, and you desperately need these 2 players to pretty much get out the way this direction or get out the way this direction, like one or the other, because that enables this person to get the open space. And I think what happens, yeah, they both sort of linger a little bit, which gives you nothing, and that's where your flow stops. But it didn't matter in the end. Anyway, nice point. Oh yeah, I reckon Monty hated that one for sure. Oh, spicy game.
Spicy game's a good game sometimes.
It is. What are we playing on defense here? This looks like a junk set again. This is sort of a defense that all Nationals teams will play now. You just need to interrupt the flow. So you'll have the person that goes straight to the disc and a person that is also on the disc. So you're 2 at the front. You'll have 1 at the front of the stack. This person's covering the front of the stack. You have 2 on the open side, 1 on the break side, and a cap sitting deep. And that setup is really nice to interrupt flow. And you sort of hold it for 1 or 2 passes, and then you'll tighten up. Yeah, so now it looks like we're in a much more of a match situation. Oh yeah, this point here, this is sloppy. What do you reckon, Jules? Whenever a team gets a huck off, it's a forehand force, and that is the easiest backhand huck of all time.
Yeah. I would say this about the boys. This was on day 3, and going in with a very
so they're getting a little bit tired.
They were incredibly tired and incredibly injured as well.
Yeah, running out of players.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, damn. It doesn't take much effort. Like, they've already done so much effort to improve the flow. The moment... Who is that? Is that Podge? The moment Podge gets the frisbee here, you just have to close this gap, really.
Yeah.
Just to make it a little bit more challenging. Like, there is such a nice lane right now for him to boost one. Just, like, there's so much field everywhere for him to just launch it into here. It's a good thrower with no wind. That's like, yeah.
Just because I know
the person playing defense.
Yeah.
yeah, this person isn't expecting a backhand over his head. He's expecting a loopy forehand. So he's set up in a very good position. And then what do you do?
Just so,
happens.
just because I know that a few of the people who watch this channel are very new to Frisbee, can you explain the concept of a lane?
Oh, yeah. So when you're... Let me go back and look at that again one more time. Here, as a thrower, so this person has a disc, and they've got to force this way. And essentially he has like two nice throwing lanes. He'll have like a nice throw this way, and it's currently a flick force, so it's an open side lane. There's also like a lane here if he can throw a hard inside shot. But that's sort of what I'm talking about, a lane. So you can see like, well, that changed my color. This defender is set up to like sort of guard both of those lanes effectively, but he's not really expecting the shot that comes out. So once this guy gets it, the defender here, let me get rid of my lines, this defender is expecting a shot here or a shot here, like somewhere in that sort of range. He's not really expecting like a long shot over the top there, because normally that's where, ideally, your mark is stopping that, if you sort of like block that shot off.
Yeah.
And like, it's only a small thing, but it can make the difference, I guess, in like a good thrower will punish that. And Podge is a very good thrower, and he gets it off quite easily. And in the end zone here, the boys are hustling really, really hard. There's one thing here that I noticed that, like, let me go back 5 seconds. It's a flick force. So on the mark, your flick is here, and your defender's, this defender's standing there and this defender's standing there. They're all in a really nice position at this moment. And if I press play, the moment this Frisbee goes back to this over here, so now we're here, your defender's here, but your downfield defender, this defender should be on that side, and this defender should be more on that side. And it's a concept called orbiting. And I think it's this person here, or both of these players, the defenders are on the wrong side. And so it's just like a really easy cut to this spot or this spot. All three of these players are completely open on the open side. And it's really subtle. It's called orbiting because ideally this person, orbits around the player, and this person orbits around, and this person orbits around to like try to guard the open space. And this thrower can throw to any of them, and he chooses that one. It's completely open.
Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't matter how fast you are as a defender, you just can't close the
Yeah. And you have to be on your toes down. Like the moment that Frisbee gets moved back to the center of the field as a defender, you want to be like ready for that. Yeah, so the heads to state defense looks very similar to what the Sublime one did. This person, they know that they are the deepest defender. In Frisbee, I don't know what you guys call it, but we've always called it a cap. They're stopping the huck straight away.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Yeah. So like they're on this player, but they know they can go a little bit slowly to like interrupt the huck. And then eventually he's going to lock on. Yeah, so now he's locked on. They do a nice little swap. Wasn't nice enough. Nice grab.
Very, very hard to beat Babyface in the air.
Oh, Baby's a supreme deep cutter, highly experienced, very strong in the air. Baby's so sneaky here. Baby is like obviously an excellent player, but he's just waiting. And Baby and Jackson have excellent chemistry. They've played together 10,000 times. And the moment that switch happened, so this defender was originally on Baby, and you can see them pointing. They're in the middle of a switch, and Baby's recognized the switch, and he recognizes that he's now open deep, and he just fades off. And Jackson sees it. Jackson's a massively good thrower and just launches it in. Game over. But that's like, yeah, excellent from Baby to recognize, and he knows his teammate. Jackson's one of the best throwers going around, and he can do that all day.
For sure, for sure.
Heads of state are setting up in a horror. No, they're not. Heads of state are setting up in what we call a side stack. So that they'll have heads of state play it with 3 handlers back. Well, that's not the way when Ellipsis plays it. We only ever play it with 2 handlers back. But you have your 3 handlers back, and you've got 3 cutters in the stack. and you have a player isolated in the middle with all of the room. This is one of the reasons why you throw out what we call a junk set, is because the isolated player now is covered by like two people on the open side and a person deep. So like there's not a lot of room for that person to do stuff. They end up getting it open, which is a shame, but yeah, that junk set can really interrupt offense throw out a play, and you have to be able to stop it straight away. That's an awful throw. I don't know who that was, but that's the easiest block they'll get all tournament. I don't know what Sublime do in an end zone set, but this would be about time to call your end zone play if you have an end zone play. And I guarantee the Sublime end zone play isn't to have three players standing within 2 meters of each other. You probably want it more to be like, you know, a nice vertical stack to give the thrower lots of options. Do you know what end zone play Sublime uses?
I don't know which one Div 1 uses, no.
Yeah, okay. But I'm sure it isn't that. Yeah, it's looking much better now, like more defined sort of cutters in space, and you've got, you know, a bit more room for the thrower to think. Nice. Yeah, easy. So that was a break, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, the boys are amped. Look at them go.
Yeah, one great thing about Sublime is that their energy is always so high, you know, like they are always ready to represent.
Who's pulling? Yeah. That pull, it doesn't look super windy. If you think about like a pull, this pull is short. Here's the brick mark. So if you throw it out the side of the field, this is where you start. That pull didn't even make it to the brick mark. So I would say that's, and he also, Seb Bar, this guy, is one of the best handlers we've ever had, and he's so sneaky, he just gains himself like 3 meters there. And why not? Yeah, this is a nice little junky defense again from Sublime. You can see the damage this person is doing to their offense. Mm-hmm. He knows the person he's marking isn't a threat, so he gives himself a couple of meters, and now that he's in the middle of the field, he can make a play on any deep shot. So the handler has to respect it, which is why there's been no shots come up yet.
Yeah. And theoretically, the reason why he isn't a threat is because that is the force side, right?
Yeah, it's just, you know, you can kind of, there's just a little bit of traffic in the way. Mm-hmm. Like that shot to this guy is a bit tough.
Yeah.
And he does it, if you follow this guy deep, he is still looking, he's still looking for that block, still looking to poach off onto this guy, so if anything goes up, he can punish. Yeah, it's really nice. And importantly, the moment the free throw came back, like, you know, it's heading this way, he can sense it. He's actually like now locked into his defender because he realizes he has to go. But the moment he gives up that space, now they can get that. If you watch this player in the last like 10 seconds, you can sort of see it unwind.
Yeah.
He leaves it, and then, yeah, look at him go. Sneaky.
So do you think that was just a blown switch there?
I don't know if it was never a switch. It was just, you can actually see it happen here. Like, your player, this guy, he's not looking at his defender, and sorry, not looking at the person he's marking at the exact same time that this person is going back. It's just a bit of bad luck. And right. So, like, yeah, see, he's actually pointing at his player, calling for a switch. He's like, can you come here and help me? But it's a miscommunication, and it doesn't happen. And he's still pointing like, help, take my guy, please. And no one's heard him, or no one's taken the switch. Yeah. So it's a miscommunication. I would say if you're going to do a switch, I don't really know why he wants to do that switch, to be honest. Like this person, when you're switching, you're basically telling your teammate, you go there and I'm going here. That's what he's asking. And neither of those things happen. Like if you're going to do a switch, make sure it is very obvious and make sure you're still guarding someone. You can't just call for a switch and not go.
Yeah, for sure.
For a switch. Didn't end up marking anyone, and then it's just an easy goal.
Yeah.
So it's a miscom. I would say switching it's quite a high level defensive skill, and you just you only switch if you're certain.
It's especially hard at Nats with so many people yelling, you know.
Yeah, and especially in the end zone, like God. So your heads of state are coming down. Yeah, it looks like a zone, and that's a really good cut and throw to start with. So you set up in your horo set. Heads of state have come down in a zone. So Sublime have your 3 handlers back, 4 cutters downfield, and then heads of state have set up like maybe a little bit of a wall. And that Jackson or Kyle, or whoever it is, Kyle just finds it straight away, which is nice. So they're playing a zone here. And that's a good shot too. So their zone I think they have like the 3 across the front is your wall, and then you've got your 3 across the middle. And the way you beat it is you just have to keep the disc moving and don't let them set up.
Yeah.
So you'll probably notice Kyle is expert at this. He's like one of the best in the game at catching it and just throwing it to the first thing he sees that's open.
So
if you follow Kyle's move,
if they do manage to set up, what would the plan be then? Just move it around.
There's a few options. If I go back to the start of the point, there's a few options. Like you can sort of have players attacking from the back. We say so. Like you could have like this person here wrap around and go through here, or like come around the side. Like just sort of trying to get some forward movement. It's not that windy, so like it's pretty comfortable for really good throwers just to wait. Play between themselves and find little gaps like that in the wall. So you're just waiting and just waiting. This isn't as good a thrower, whoever it is, I'm not sure, but they're good enough to give it back to one of your handlers who can then, wait for the gap, find the gap. I would go back to the start of this point again. This is like what Kyle O does in this point is just follow Kyle's down here, just follow his movement throughout the point. He's never more than like 10 meters away from the frisbee. He gives it and he gets it, and he'll find a spot, and then he's already on his bike, like he's already looking for the next space. And this is what you can do. He's here at the moment and he's gonna come and get it again. You could he just keeps moving, and when you're supremely fit, you can just keep moving, and that's like lovely throw. One of the benefits of having a player like Kyle is he is super fit and he just will run for the whole game, and like a point like that he'll just go and get it and give it and get it, and it's like that's how you break a zone really.
Yeah, very, very hard to beat Kyle in terms of fitness and speed. He's a
monster
machine. Yeah, and incredible skills as well.
Yeah, once again Sublime, little junkie set. This player here isn't marking anyone, but what he is doing is taking the whole deep space. They know that the guy with the disc right now, his name is TCAS, he can throw a flick. He has the ability to throw this on his forehand very easily, so you need to like respect that. What it does mean is this person is unmarked, but that is not as threatening as TCAS having an open line, because that for him is a very easy throw.
Would you say it's a good idea to take away that line just because it is TCAS, or in general you should take away that line?
Depending on the team or the thrower or the conditions, that's very much a heads of state play. They like TCAS he's got one of the most powerful flicks in the game. Everyone knows that at Div 1, so everyone's like, you have to respect it.
Sure.
Also, this is a lovely block.
Yeah, Chev Diaz, his rookie year.
Yeah, look at him go. What a block. Supermaned it. It's a call. It might be a foul. It might not be a foul. It's kind of hard to tell with those ones. You have no idea who's got the hands on the disc or anything. But what I will say is he like at this point here, he just head down and just goes for it. Like he just goes. That's sick.
Yeah, Chevy's one of the
I'm a
fastest
bit
ones on the
confused.
team as well.
Yeah, I'm confused why Seb probably just needed to throw it. This is Seb Bar, again, one of our country's best handlers. I don't know why he doesn't throw that. That's like the obvious pass, and he looks it off. And because he looks it off, he decides to take this break throw. Like, that's a hard shot. Good defending. I don't know what the call is here. Maybe a foul.
It was retracted.
He retracted it. Yeah, okay. Jeez. Yeah, this is a fun game. Yes, Sublime guys are just always so athletic. I know, like, it's very evident when you're watching Sublime play. They're like highly athletic, highly, you know, they have a lot of desire.
Yeah, they do a lot of running in the training leading up to that.
Yeah. What I'm looking at here is, I don't know who this is. I mentioned this concept called orbiting before. This person now is like, you can sort of see how he's positioned, and watch what happens the moment that frisbee comes here, he jumps to the other side. And that's kind of what you want your defenders to do downfield. He sees it, and he works really hard to get in front.
Yeah.
Is that a sink? Yeah, that's excellent end zone offense. It was just a bad throw in the end. You can't do much about that.
Yeah.
But again, like, you probably want to be scoring that. Mm. Yeah, okay. This is a bit of fun. Yeah, this has been really good defense so far. The more time, if your defensive line can keep the other team on the field for a long time, that's always really good. Like most teams will have their set maybe 7 or 8 or 9 players that they play on offense all the time. So the longer you can keep them out there, the better. And you're building pressure and you're building pressure, and then they do something stupid like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice grab. That'll be a goal. Yeah. Oofed. Yeah, this is looking good. This Sublime D-line has done a very good job at this point. They just made the other team do so many cuts and so many throws. They're working really hard. Oh no. Oof.
Chevy Diaz again.
Man, this boy, that's like, he's marking this guy here, and he's looking, and he can see that this player is about to get into this space. And he just goes and gets it.
He's a smart boy.
That's great.
Chev. Studying med, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, you can tell. Clever.
Yeah, clever little cookie. Fast little cookie.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, cool. So that was a really nice shot. Nice by Macca to just recognise and finish it off. That's like a really handy break as well. Ooh.
Yeah, the boys really came out firing.
Yeah. I love that. They always do. Actually, no, they don't. Sublime went down like 5-1 and 6-1 in the last couple of games, right?
Well, we came back from Fishwick from a 6-point deficit.
Yeah. And almost came back from the other one. That Fishwick comeback was wild.
Oh, man.
You can see it straight away again. Sorry. I don't know if this could actually be more of a zone play from Sublime, like a 3-3-1. You've got your wall, 1, 2, 3. You've got your middle 3, and you've got your back 1. And that 1 is just the one at the back just stops the hug. Yeah, I think it is a 3-3-1 maybe. It's kind of hard to tell. And it's forced the heads of state team to their plan B or their plan C. And now it's very clearly match defense.
Yep.
Heads of State move it very quickly. They've done a really good job here of just recycling and passing. I would say the best offenses are the ones that just throw it to an open pass straight away. You never want to hold your frisbee for too long. You just want it. What a block! Is that Benny?
That is Benny Bashan. Unfortunately, that was a travel call.
Travel? Like 2 throws ago? Oh, what a shame. I've got an ick. An ick is when I think the force is backhand. In other words, your force is here. You want them to throw that. And this guy takes a tiny little extra step and throws the exact throw you want him to throw. So you've called travel. And then you end up getting this hell of a block up the line. And didn't count because 3 throws ago it was travel and everyone stopped. If you hadn't called the travel, you get the frisbee. Yeah, so you've gone to force. One thing I like what Sublime's done is they've changed up their defense maybe twice or 3 times in the first 4 points. So now we're forcing backhand. So the heads of state guys have had to adjust to that. It's new. You can't play the same defense too often. Otherwise, the offense will get comfortable. So you want to try some weird different things.
Yeah, I was told that frisbee sounds like a chess game.
It's 100% a chess game. And I think the really big thing for people to recognize on defense is you're not going for a block every single point. Like, especially at the top level, there might, like a really high level game, you may only get a couple of turns in the whole game. So, like, in an individual defensive point, all you're really trying to do is build pressure and build pressure. And you get build pressure by playing tight defense, following the force. And then eventually they'll get tired and they'll make a mistake or someone will get a block. But it's all about building the pressure throughout, like, the context of the whole game.
Yeah, it's interesting how many games at Nats go to Universe.
Yeah. Yeah. And even teams that you'd think one team is much better than the other team, like, anything can happen. But your defense is all about, like, if your team has a plan to not get beaten under, you can't get beaten under. Like, if you're forcing backhands, just let them throw backhands. You don't want to do... Ooh. Someone just got mowed down. All right, here we go. Look for the hit, Jules. Here we go.
Here we go.
Boom! He went flying.
Yeah, Vernon's a pretty tall dude as well, so when he hits the deck...
Yeah. They're not a lot. I don't know if he could have avoided that contact, but he definitely didn't try. The heads of state guy definitely didn't try. I don't know what offense Sublime is playing here. Do you have any idea? I see clearly you have a handler. You got one bloke here, and then 3 over here. I'm not too sure what the look is meant to be. I think it's meant to be a vertical sack. Yeah, it looks a bit better now.
Second time Vernon's hit.
That's the same bloke who mowed down Vernon before.
Yeah, I think they had a bit of a individual battle going on.
It's a pretty decent, borderline foul. I'm surprised Vernon didn't call that. I think I reckon Vernon could have called foul on that.
Yeah, but you would know more than most Pete. Like, the physical games, it both seems a happy physicality.
Yeah, good call. If teams are happy with that level of physicality, I would say if your spirit scores were what they were at the end of the game, I would say neither team were very happy about it. I think I saw it was 7 and 8, right? So Sublime got 8, HOS got 7.
Yeah.
Oof. Was this a Sublime O point? Yeah, it was, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, you can kind of tell, like, when we've gone out on defense, Sublime has always had a player peeling out deep, and currently there's no one there. So like we're talking about lane, that throwing lane. If that was TCAS with the disc, he'll throw that, and it'll probably be a goal. I don't know who this dude is, but he obviously didn't feel comfortable with that inside flick. He thought about it, didn't do it.
Yeah, for
and it's
sure.
because there's no one guarding the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's way too far. Oof.
Too many Wheaties.
Yeah. Don't know who that is. Check out Kyle's positioning. This is great defense. Kyle, world-class defender. He's on this guy here, but he has given himself like a few extra meters, and he's now stopping like these two throws. It's like he's looking to make a play on this guy coming under. Now, what it means is, different guy. There was another switch there. I don't really know why they're switching. Oh, I can kind of see why. This guy scores going deep, and this defender's asking Kyle, can we swap here because you're deep of me? It actually makes sense. And Kyle just reacts a split second too late. Yeah, and that's it. Would have been a really nice switch. Didn't matter in the end. All right, hurry up, boys. Where are we at? Kyle. All right. Is that Jackson again? Yeah, that's not his best.
Bit of a
not his best, but that's all right. Happens. Oof, man, I don't know about that shot. It requires a hell of a powerful throw. If you want to be doing a deep cut, so it was this person who ends up going deep. They're probably a little bit too deep. I think your Horo probably needs to start a little bit shallower. So if all of your players are here, if he does that exact same cut but starting here, he will score the goal, or like he will get open. By the time Jackson looks up, like this is so far away. Like that throw is, no, I don't know. It's probably a little bit too hard, too far away. But if our cutter was starting here, he'll get that. But it's not going to work out.
So you've seen in a lot of social games, players just tend to run deep all the time. When is a good rule of thumb to run deep and when not to?
Well, it's kind of, if you think you can score a goal, if you think you can get open deep, you should run deep. So that's probably my number one rule of thumb. But also, like Sublime's doing, if they have a player just standing deep, you sometimes just want to run deep anyway to sort of make them move. So the reason you cut is, I guess there's two reasons. The first one is you're wanting to get the frisbee, but actually probably the more important part is you're making space for your teammates. That should be caught. Foul, surely. There's that lane that we were mentioning before.
Yep.
Yeah, like straight through there. There's no Sublime defender helping deep. There's a little bit of separation there. Probably not a great option, but, it's a decent shot. And then, is it a foul? Let's find out.
It does become a foul, yeah. I remember.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Yeah, Kyle had this conversation on the ground. That's how they had the discussion.
He'd be spewing.
Oh, the boys.
All right, boys, let's get up. Uncontested foul. Yeah, so it was uncontested. Oh, you can see a very, so heads of state have set up with two handlers back and 4 players in a Horo downfield. Now, I think that's a little bit peculiar as an end zone set. Oh, that's pretty bad. Oh, Jax. If you have a mark here, like your mark's there, Jackson really bit on this, inside. I don't really know why. I think he just wasn't paying attention, and then it's an easy, move here to get open. Yeah, you can tell. I think he's like, oh, I'm sorry.
It should be noted that both Jackson and Kyle were playing a lot of back-to-back points.
Yeah, they would have been rooted, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, game's hard, man.
And
it's not only a Kyle and Jackson playing a lot of back-to-back points, but they're probably being marked up by one of or the best defenders on the field.
Yeah.
Oh, you're out there or something. Yeah, like if you're Jackson or Kyle, the best two most athletic handler defenders that heads of state have will probably get put on Jackson or Kyle. So then they're playing a lot of points, but they're also taking the hardest matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, a lot of the boys played back.
Oh, that's a great block. Is he going to get it? Yeah. Look at that. This defender, the guy who gets the block is here. So he's just watching. And the moment this frisbee goes up, he can make a play. And that's really good. He knows his person isn't in a very threatening position, and he knows that, like, if I stand on the backside or, like, towards the end zone of my defender, I will be able to help my teammate out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And look at him go, just like mows it down.
Yeah, he definitely stood up to
Yeah. And the thrower didn't see it. I think that's the other part about a good poach like that, is that Kyle.
Yeah.
Like, he can see, like, this guy, he can see it, but he maybe can't see this thing that's happening over there. And, you know, that's just the way it goes sometimes. All right, let's see what we're doing. So we've got a flick force. If I know heads of state, I imagine they'll be really wanting this person to do something here. Yeah, that's kind of their play. They will always do. They have some excellent throwers, so they have this guy either go that way or either go this way, and the second person will either go that way or either go this way. And if all else fails, this third person comes under.
Yeah.
And that's sort of how it works. 1, 2, and the second person get it. Very hard to stop. Oh, yeah.
Oh, close, Jacko.
Yeah, I
Very
thought.
close.
Yeah, I thought. Oh, dear. I like what Vernon does here. Vernon recognises that the defender's, like, mad out of position, so Vernon just makes himself as big as possible to stop any subsequent throw.
Yeah.
And that's, like, you know, quite a nice thing to do. Very good heads up. Recognise the threat and take it away.
Smart guy, that Michael Vernon.
I know, he's played a lot.
A lot of experience. Also, huge body, so if you need someone...
Yeah, and he uses it really well. Like, if you have a guy who's Vernon's size standing in front of you, like, that's hard work. Hard to get around. Yeah, the Sublime boys are really hard. That was a great throw. Not much you can do about that.
Oh. I actually realise I'm talking a lot about the Sublime boys, but that's only because that's the team which I know.
No, that's fine. And, like...
also great guys.
You say you think the heads of state guys are good guys?
I'm sure they are.
Yeah, they're mostly pretty good dudes. This is the same dude again, I think, actually. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's a little bit gnarly, hey?
Yeah.
And 86, I'm going to find out who 86 is. That's a little bit of a gnarly bid. As a decision making on defense, you only really want to be laying out or diving for a frisbee. This guy's done it 3 times now. If you are sure you're not going to hit someone. Mm-hmm. Like, it is a non-contact sport at heart, and there's obviously contact, but you should not be laying out there. A little bit hard to tell on that one, but, like, there was no way he was getting that without cleaning up. Is it Monty?
That is...
No way you're getting that without cleaning up, Monty. So it's probably not worth it for anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know that Monty was getting more annoyed as the game went on.
Yeah, like, so it ended up being retracted. So there was no call there. I think the Sublime guys have been pretty lenient with that. Lots of teams would call a foul on that and just stand by it. Like,
Yep.
just because you get the block doesn't mean you're allowed to clean someone up.
Sure. Absolutely.
That's a Ben Powley special. The guy who throws that, this is one of his favourite throws. That is a very hard shot to take. What he ends up throwing, this bladey like forehand, that's like, you know. Is that Jackson? He's not, whoever that is, they're standing there on purpose to stop up the line or stop like someone coming here. And they're basically saying, like, that's probably not going to come, or if it does come, and that's like,
Oh, look at that.
What do you do? Yeah, it's just a really good throw. Low percentage. I probably wouldn't be too stoked about it, but yeah. So Sublime have come out. I think in a side stack, you've got your lovely couple on the side here. When you do a side stack, my only gripe here, I think, is I would probably have these three. I would probably have wider and shallower, like in here, because currently where they're set up, you have like, look at the defenders where they're setting up. Like, they're guarding so much field, and it's because the Sublime stack is a little bit too deep.
Yeah.
And it's allowing this guy to do whatever he wants. Yeah, that's a really nice play. I don't know if you saw it, Jules. This is a pretty standard thing to do in a side stack. Because you know these two defenders are going to be guarding deep, you're opening up space for one of these guys to come under. So all you need to do is have the guy at the front run across, and then someone come under. Yeah. And that's exactly what Sublime does. That's really nice, and a good throw from Jackson to hit it. Yeah, lovely. Oh, I don't know about that throw. The Sublime offense was... Oh, nice grab. The Sublime offense was looking... Yeah, that was excellent offensive flow up until here. I don't know what he's seeing. Like, the defender's actually deep. This guy's not even looking, and Jackson's like, nah, we're doing this. I'm not too sure why. And it's a really big grab. I guess, was that Aiden, did you say?
Yeah, Aiden Deering, man. Just
Aiden's a monster. Like, maybe they saw the matchup. I think that's Declan Frey, and Aiden's quite a bit taller, maybe stronger in the air. Maybe Jackson was like, no, let's just let the boys play.
I'd also bet on Aiden.
Yeah, Aiden's a pretty big dude. Good player, that's for sure.
Yeah, man, and like in terms of like aerial work, he's just, I don't know, it's a must.
I reckon that's what he's done. It's another thing, like in the context of the tournament, had Aiden been taking pretty strong grabs up to that?
Yeah, man, I don't think there's been a tournament where he doesn't take strong grabs. Yeah,
so then Jackson, that's a chemistry thing. Jackson sees Aiden, sort of, there's no one helping deep, and then that's like, fuck it, no, Aiden will get this for sure. we do that in ellipses all the time.
Yeah.
When you've got like Rob Andrews and Sam McGuckin, like you can just, if it's in the air near them, there's not many people who can beat them.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yes. This is the one we were talking about before. Mad defense from Sublime. I timed this. It's something nice to do if you ever watch yourself stream and you're not sure if you're fast counting. I timed this. From the time then, I started my timer. And because I think, is it someone's called a stall out, and it's about 7 seconds. And he's called a stall, and I'm like, well, that was 10 seconds in 7 seconds, a little bit quick.
I think he did
retracts it. Yeah, but I'm like, fuck, 7's sick. If you can get away with 7 seconds, hell yeah. Oh, cold drop. That Toffa's a couple. There's some of these heads of state guys are a couple of years older than me. Like, they've been playing for a really long time. No, it's just very uncharacteristic. Boring kick. Oh, he throws it anyway. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Is that Ben going deep as well?
It is, and quite a celebration afterwards.
Oh, he's gone. He's left the field.
Gone. See you later. He came where he wanted to do, and Yeah, he did what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
And it's gone.
that's a good grab by Ben. Just before he caught it, he looks down to see where the line is, to see if he can make sure it stays in. Yeah, this is a nice little zone again. I think this is more zoney. From Sublime, you've got your couple across the front, couple across the middle, one deep. Another nice look, sort of mix it up. Don't let them be too comfortable. No, I don't like that. In this type of zone, it's like a 3-2-2 maybe. These two guys are stopping like the two shots through here. And one just comes up, so it's nice to look how. So whoever this is, yeah, sorry, I screwed that up a bit. This guy is pointing, and he's still pointing. If you're going to point, go take it. Because Jackson sees the point, so he comes around this way to see what he can do. Pointing, doesn't close it down, and the guy gets it. Like, oh dear. Then it's broken down. This zone breaks down. The moment it's through the middle like that, it can break down. Yeah. And that causes the goal, basically. Like, nice grab, Rowan. And it all started from that first throw.
Yeah.
Just a little bit lazy. Like, there is no one behind you at all, so he should just go.
Yep.
Even if it's for a second or two, like, close it down for a second and then go back. And then Rowan gets it, and then he gives it and run. And that's how you break that sort of zone. Once you get through, hard running downfield to pass, and just try to finish as quick. Like, don't let the zone catch up.
Yeah, you can see how dusty the field was as well. It was pretty much...
Oh, yeah, this field was...
Oh, it was terrible.
By the Sunday. Man, it was meant to be even worse.
Yeah, and that's saying something.
Compare, I know I said it before, like, one of the Sublime pulls, it ended up here. That Heads of State pull is, like, in the end zone.
Yeah.
And it makes a really big difference on how much pressure there is from the start.
Well, that extra 2 seconds, translates to what?
Yeah, and like
5-10 meters.
Yeah, the pressure afterwards was like not really there. I would have liked to see it with a pull that good. That's a great pull. I don't really know what defense they're playing. I think they're running down in a zone as well. Really sneaky little play, but yeah, that is. I don't know what Heads of State were doing, but you need someone in here because it releases all of the pressure from a great pull.
Yep.
And then, like we said before, once you're through that sort of setup, just keep moving, pass it, and go. So they're actually in match. So it was either a really bad match or they transitioned straight away from their zone to play match straight away. Oh, how did that happen? Oh, no, just bad luck. Jackson like dinked at the exact time the throw went up. Not a lot you can do. Cool. The Heads of State thing again. They did it. So we call this a diag, like a diagonal, and the play is the first person they choose a direction, and then the second person will choose a direction.
Yeah. Always in the opposite, or?
One. Yeah, it doesn't always have to be. It's just basically get open. Now, that it didn't work for them. They also had the 5 come under, and then the third person came under. So, and the third person gets it. It's like, it's a pretty bad setup. I think, like, if you play this correctly, even though they didn't set it up as well as they could have, it still comes off because it's so powerful. I probably would have wanted my first person a little bit shallower, like there you're 5. I feel like this is a little bit too far. That's a little bit depends on the throw and what the team's used to. But like these people, if you're playing a diag, they're not in a good position. Yeah, you want to be like diagonal. And you can see, even though it's not ideal, like it's all a bit, the third person still can just run under and get it. It's very hard to stop. Oh yeah, this is Ben Powley who hucked that. That's a shit throw. What are you doing? You also like he's hucking that over the top of the stack when the deepest person is a Sublime player.
Yeah.
That's not what you want. And then it's a 2v1. I also like, yeah, 2v1. And off they go. Oh, there was a head knock maybe.
Yeah.
Good block in the end.
It's quite a big head knock for Jacko, actually, from memory, but he managed to get up.
Oh, is that Jack?
Yeah.
Got a thick skull, that boy. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I missed the start. Cool. And they should just quickly play down the side here. Wonderful. Yeah, good shot. Oh, a bit of, not quite. I think the lane was there. It was asking. Probably just needed a better throw.
Yeah.
But again, I think, yeah. If you think about like Kyle's here, the deep cut is already halfway down the field. It's asking a lot.
A lot of Kyle, the throw.
Asking a lot for the throw to like get over the top. I would probably have my stack a little bit shallower. Or instead of like just starting here and sprinting deep, come out here, fake under, and then go deep.
Right.
And I guess there's two reasons. That way, firstly, you're like getting your defender off balance and you can shoot deep, and you're giving the thrower a little bit more time to see what is happening in front of them. And that extra 2 steps or like 1 second could have opened up that shot. It just made it a little bit nicer for Jack, like for Kyle. That's, you know, instead of just sprinting from the stack here, he just goes straight away. I would have come in here and then done something like that.
Yeah. Just that extra second.
Just makes it a little bit easier. Bit more time for the thrower to, yeah, you're more likely to get open, and it gives your thrower a bit more of a chance to make a hard shot. Yeah, they did the exact same thing, heads of state again. They set up a really clean stack, and it's 1 and then 2, something like that. Just to get the initial movement.
Mm-hmm.
This is super clean from heads of state again. So once this person has it, the dump, this is really clearly drilled. This person doesn't even hesitate, they go up, and the fill comes in this direction.
Yeah.
Predictability is everything, so this person knows they either shoot here or they shoot there.
Yeah.
So yeah, here goes the dump, there goes the fill. That was textbook, I have to say. This is your, heads of state are on defense to start this point, weren't they? I think so. The timing of that, like, I think it's this person goes up the line, this person gets to feel, and the third move is this person coming over here. And that's just drilled.
Yeah, he's a set off.
Yeah, just really clean. The timing is perfect. Nice. Oh, pick. Don't know where that came from. Doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, that's too easy. This person needed to be aware. I think this defender really sold out because they saw the mark was a bit out of position. They were trying to stop this shot. I guess he had to. What do you do? Oh, head state should be happy with that one. Pretty clean. Oh, did he drop it? No, it's a go. Nice grab. This is a little bit tough. I feel like once this person gets the frisbee there's like absolutely nothing in front of him. I would have liked to see this player, this one here, make more of an effort here to like either go out and in or like in and out. Like just make a little bit more effort to help out.
Yeah.
They sort of, is a baby. Yeah, he sort of fades into the middle. And then like stall 3, stall 4, stall 5. Like he just sort of slows things down. I know on ellipsis we have like really aggressive cutters. And they'll back themselves in to like get open in those hard spots, like one-on-ones.
Yeah.
And Baby's a supreme athlete. Like he could get open there, I reckon. Oh, that sucks. I have to say, I feel like Sublime have played better defense. Like, there's been more pressure. Good throw. There's been more pressure from Sublime on defense to start this game in the first half. Like, I feel like Sublime had the chance there to, like, would have been 2 or 3 breaks up realistically. If you don't score those breaks, then you just let the other team back in.
Yeah, for sure.
Split stack, yeah, nice. This is Sublime. I don't think had done this yet, and maybe because Heads of State hadn't played match, but you can see 3 on the right, 2 on the left. But Heads of State have come down in match. I don't really know what the plan is here, because is it Kyle or whoever picks it up? There's like 3 seconds where not a single person is doing anything. I don't know what the call was. It just puts you under quite a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
In an ideal world, and the way I know lots of teams will run it is like, I reckon the call was that these 2 are your initial cutters. But that's because right. Where the frisbee is, it's like there's a breakdown in the plan and where the frisbee landed. There has to be a quick call. And like one thing that teams will often do with this setup is these 2 players will just get out the way and this person gets the frisbee.
Yeah.
And it can just be a single world call to like flip or something, just to like tell everyone we're going to plan B straight away and this is our plan B.
Yeah.
And instead, yeah, we just get a bit of looking because I'm guessing the guys on the left were meant to be doing something, but they can't because it's on the wrong side. Hard throw. Yeah, it's a good find. Good cut and a good find. That Monty. We got out of jail there. That's quite nice.
out of the
where I'm from,
pen.
Yeah, we call that one a sinker. Elite sinker.
I remember this. Yeah, there was
this change.
Yeah, the HOS player kicked it, and then it just got destroyed.
It's quite funny. What just happened there? Look at how this frisbee gets in there. The world's tiniest though. Heads of State did a really nice job there. They moved the frisbee all the way from the left, all the way to the right to sort of like give themselves a bit more width to play with.
Yeah.
You don't like, even though they were only a meter or so from the end zone on the left side here, that's probably a little bit of a difference, I think, between like Sublime and if they want to really like step up to like be very competitive at nationals, there's just a little bit of composure and patience. Like Heads of State had the frisbee right here. They moved it there, and then they moved it here, and then they came all the way back to score where they like, and then back around here again. I feel like Sublime, if they had the frisbee here, they would be shooting. They would go for it. And it's just a patience thing, like composure, confidence.
Well, in the words of every Sublime player ever, shooter's got to shoot.
Shooter's got to shoot. Like, and do Sublime have that? Do they yell boring? Now, does boring mean like we're going to take it slow?
Yeah, just
Yeah. Then that's good. But here we go. Same split stack setup. I wonder if it's the exact same setup where they've called these two people to do something. But let's see what happens. Nothing. There's no one on the mark yet, so they can wait. Oh no. It looks a bit more windy now. It looks a little bit more windy based on the way that throw came out, but again, like, yeah, that's tough, man. Something's got to change there. It's just too easy, you know? I don't know why. Yeah, like the heads of state have a person sitting here deep already. It's just such an easy block. Whatever.
shooter's got to shoot.
Shooter's got to shoot, bro.
Shooter's got to shoot, bro.
And I also get it. Like short roster, a couple of really hard games. Your boys are tired. So like you see Vernon, was it Vernon deep? You're like, fuck it. If I just get it in the air near Vernon, he can make a play.
Yeah, exactly. And at this point, a lot of the boys are just being held together by literally tape and like naproxen.
And like the HOS composure again, their stack is looking schmick. This guy's getting ready to go. This guy's getting ready to go. They've got to bail out under. The third person will be ready. Like it's very drilled. Gets the under easy. And then they're off, you know, got a bit of flow, defense is moving. Yeah, lovely. Oh. We're forcing forehand. Sublime's forcing forehand, and this is it, you know. Jackson on the mark jumps across to try to stop this under. Mm-hmm. I get it, but I think more important is to stop this guy. His name's Ben. Ben likes to throw it deep. His backhand is very powerful. Like, wasn't quite a good enough throw. Probably should have been caught in the end. Get a bit lucky.
Well, when you get 6'8" of Michael Vernon bearing down.
Yeah, if you're getting it. But also, your editing skills have been excellent here.
Oh,
really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you commentating.
Yeah. It's fun, man. I love watching this shit. No idea. Tired though.
Well, I've got a Chaos game right after if you want to.
Which one? The Manly one? The Rogue one?
Them fighting for 5th. Chaos v Blaze.
Oh yeah, that's a good game for them in the end.
Yeah, man. They managed to, big 5th for Chaos.
Yeah, that's huge. That's really cool.
Nah, those guys work hard as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, man.
Good save.
Dust trail.
I bet it hurt. Whoa. Yeah, the heads of state composure, you can really see here, like, this is their D line.
Yeah.
And you can see, like, they're playing it really nice laterally, like they're going left and right. They're not taking any, like, rush throws yet. They're sort of just happy to wait for the nice lane with a good thrower. Ooh. But...
Almost.
Oh, yeah. But he'll happily come back and it'll probably go to the right here and it will probably be swung a bit further. Like, they're just patient. Until the right time comes up.
Yeah.
And this is like, I feel like Sublime had played such a good game up to this point, but they've lost this like third quarter a little bit.
Yeah, you can really start to see the tiredness just seep in.
Yeah, momentum's huge in sport.
Yeah, massively so.
Sublime also, like, you know, I know it very well, but like, the more experience you have on a team, the more likely you are to score those points. And like when it gets hard and you have to throw it 20 or 30 times to score a goal, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, this point's been a bit of fun so far. This has been a really nice Sublime O point so far. Oh, fuck, I jinxed it, man.
Commentator's curse.
Just like hitting your open passes, and once you throw it, you move. And like, just the timing is quite nice. Damn, cold drop, that kills it. Oh well, it was nice up to the drop.
Yeah, I think that was Ethan Foggin, I want to say, which is very uncharacteristic of him.
It happens. Sweaty hands, late in the game, you're tired, pressure's on.
He had a giant tournament as well. He bowled out so well.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's sick. He's another very classic heads of state sort of move. He's pretending to go here, and then he instead goes across the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, just giving themselves a bit of time. Oh, loose.
Just a tiny bit of an overshoot there.
Yeah, but you can sort of see, like, the heads of state offense, once they get it, they're being very methodical and patient.
Yeah.
And while they didn't score that one, what they have done is force the Sublime O-line, who was already tired, to run around for another couple of minutes chasing.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's like a win in itself. Yeah.
Especially with such a small team.
Yeah. Lovely. Should be a goal. Unreal.
Very nice.
Cool. Yeah, that Sublime defense is nice. This creates a lot of chaos. You haven't really let heads of state, like Sublime didn't let heads of state play what they wanted to at all so far. Like they've always had to like pass it around a bit, go to their plan B or their plan C. So I'd say that's like a really cool thing that Sublime have done this game.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, have a sniff there. But I can really sense the difference in like maturity and just overall like composure on the disc. This heads of state O-line, they just look a bit more comfortable, don't they? Like they've comfortably played a lot of passes, whereas I feel like the Sublime offense has tended to huck it a little bit earlier when things have got a bit more challenging.
Yeah. Yeah.
On this heads of state, like that's really hard to like just come up with. On this heads of state line, you've got the main handler Seb Barr, who's been playing forever. You have like a couple. Oh no, as I say that he cooks it. TCAS is a dingo as well. They've got some like toppers played for like the senior open, like senior Australian teams as well. I think Mac is on there somewhere. Like they're all old and very experienced and really good players.
Yeah, for
sure. So it's not a surprise. Oh, I feel like that probably should. That's the one time I'm in this game where I feel like that huck should go.
Yeah.
Look at that.
What are the parameters for like yes huck, no huck?
Yeah, good question. This is a really good example of like a time I would be. The person who's picked up your disc is probably one of your best throwers, so that's a good start.
Yeah.
The person cutting is like head down sprinting, and there's no one deep of him. So that's like another good thing. There's also an open lane here to throw it into. So there's a lot of things that are like favourable there. Good throw, Benny. Yeah, that's a great shot. And again, so like the green light here is a good lane to throw into. There's a cutter who's like expecting it. There's no defender anywhere like deep that can help out. And also like the cut has started shallow. Like the distance between these two isn't that great. So it gives the thrower a lot of time to judge, like size it up, think about it, and put up a nice throw.
Yeah.
And the other key thing is the guy playing defense is 36 years old, and this guy, is that Macca?
I think it is Macca, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a very favourable matchup. So all of those things together is like, yeah, you should be throwing that. Oh, wow. Yeah, they got it in the end.
Yeah.
Very different styles, Heads of State and Sublime in front of the end zone. Like Heads of State in this spot set up their nice stack. They went back, they came across all the way.
Yep.
And Ben is like looking, he's looking. And the shot he ends up taking is straight, like, whoa. I'm surprised that gets through there without someone getting a sniff on that. Like, there's 1, 2, 3.
The valley of death.
A good throw, and he's very open. And a bit slack defense in the end, but yeah, very different style. That's a great pull. Yeah, you got your person deep guarding out back. You're sacrificing a few short passes, but it stops their head to state plan 1, which is, they want to shoot deep.
Yeah.
That was very smooth.
Very, very smooth.
Smooth.
Gotta pay it when you see it.
Yeah. I mean, this heads of state team, they very severely underperformed this Nationals. They beat lots of teams leading up to the start of the tournament.
Yeah.
And then they get to the tournament and they just shit the bed. I don't really know why. I have a lot of good friends in that heads of state team. I haven't had a chance to talk to them yet, but like something went wrong.
Sometimes it just doesn't work out, like sometimes you just have one of those tourneys.
Yeah. Yeah, I originally put them finishing top 3.
So congrats on Ellipsis finishing first.
Oh, thank you. That's a great throw.
Who did they beat?
We beat Sunder. Oh dear.
Oof.
Is that Monty who put up that swing? That shot is like, oh, that's so delicious. Look how much space it gives everyone, and then a little bit. Oh no. Yeah, we beat Sunder in the final.
Yeah, and Chile came third, right?
Yeah, somehow that's like very surprising to me, I would say.
Great from Pubs at the back there. Pubs was actually 4 days before this tournament told he was going to be an O-line handler.
Oh yeah, he's playing on Macca. I think that is. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, easy goal. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one to stop. The shape on that throw, so this is Mikey Trong, he's a dingo. Instead of like throwing it flat here, he throws an outside in so it's fading over the top.
Yeah.
And there is nothing Pups can do about it. It's fading over his head. The guy who takes the grab has time to read and like time it. It's a really good throw. Yeah, one of the Sundays was much stronger than the other Sunday this year.
Slice better than dice.
I always get their names mixed up, but the one that came 7th in the end. That's like a little bit unheard of for a Sunder to come 7th. They were just really riddled with injuries. They lost a lot of players like before the tournament, and then they just lost a couple during, and they just ran out of legs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
Oh, nice job. That Monty throwing it. No, that was a nice O point. That O point was really well worked.
Yeah.
So this heads of state go on. Was it before or after this game? They lose to Chile.
I think they would have
Maybe it was
lost to Chile already, I think.
Yeah, I think it was before this game. That's one of the most ridiculous losses I've ever seen in my life. They were like 5 or 6 breaks up.
It just gets to show you never out of the game,
Oh man,
every point.
yeah, I've seen some comebacks, but I was like, man, how? I really like Ben Bastian working here.
Benny Bastian.
He just plays with a lot of.
Yeah.
He just plays with a bit of mongrel. Like he's moving his limbs a lot. He's just like he's always on the prowl. He's not afraid to get his body in there. Just looking around.
Yeah, mongrel playing. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice demonstration there of like beating the zone. After a little while, oh my bad. Something will open up. A little throw over the top will open up, and it's no one's fault. But no, this person here. This is your wing.
Yeah.
And your wing bites in on this throw. You shouldn't be coming in here. Should just abandon that. That's not worth it. You have to come back and protect the space.
Yeah.
And what happens is the wing comes in, Seb Bar, straight thrower, just throws over the top, and they're gone. Game over.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that pressure, excellent defensive pressure up front. It's like that's the thing about zone. Like one person making one decision that probably isn't right, and then it's gone. Your zone's finished.
Yeah.
But the attitude, I don't like. You just have to take the most dangerous space, and it's usually behind you.
So, early on in my incredibly short frisbee career, I was told you play zones when it's very windy. Would you say that that's accurate or not really?
Not necessarily. I mean, it obviously, like, you can have, if it's really windy, you might, like, a match can be very effective as well. I kind of feel like a zone is just to interrupt the flow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what a block.
Huge by Radu.
Like the way Sublime have used it, and like the way teams use it, is you just throw it in every now and then. You don't play at every point, really. That's pretty rare. You'll like, we played match a couple. Now we're going to show them a zone to slow down the offensive flow. You don't want the offense getting comfortable. Did that hit him in the head?
I think it did, yeah.
If you're playing match for like 3 points in a row, you're forcing flick. The offense will get really comfortable with that, like the timing and the spacing and they just get comfortable. So you throw out a zone to interrupt it, try a different look, force them to do something else, build pressure.
Yeah, just don't let them get in a groove.
Pick someone just got mowed down.
I think it was Chevy from memory.
So it's a backhand force here.
Yeah, drone issues.
Your drone abandoned you. A couple of drones. And this is, oh no, loose throw. Really nice handler move there. This one here. So the dump is backwards, and what happens is it's a nice little roll. So you throw the dump and you immediately get it straight away. And Seb Bar is the best thrower, so he just wants to get it back straight away.
Yeah.
Just to keep it moving. All right, and then someone shits the bed and throws it away. I want to go back to the start. Yeah, okay, lovely. Good interception. Yeah, nice. Oh, spicy take. Probably not a good option. Again, like deep cuts, probably a little bit too deep or like to be starting. That requires a really powerful, good throw. And it's just not, doesn't quite have the legs on it, which means the defender can just like catch up.
So if we go back to our criteria of, when should you huck it, it's deeper. Your receiver needs to be the deepest player, so check. Would you say he has the lane?
Yeah, there's a really nice lane there to throw into. If all of this was like 5 meters shallower, so that this cut, instead of starting here, it's like back here. You just give yourself a little bit more space and time. Like, you're so far away from the thrower to be going for that. And I think the wind is slightly that direction. So it's a throw that's a little bit into the wind. It's a very long way. It requires a super powerful shot. And it just doesn't carry. Like, if the throw ended up being over here, it was probably okay, but that's a huge throw.
Yeah. So, right look, just incorrect execution.
Yeah, potentially the right look. If it was a more powerful thrower, or if everything was just a little bit shallower, then you don't have to throw it as far. Oh no. Damn. This is Paddy Thorpe on the disc, I think. Huge thrower. So even though this deep cut is really far away, this guy can throw the frisbee really, really far, really powerfully, and it's slightly downwind. Like, that's a low percentage shot, really. Like, that's over the top of the stack, which means if anyone like jumps up, they might get a touch.
Yeah.
The defender's in a pretty good spot. I think the defender's probably expecting like that sort of shot. Mm-hmm. Instead, it's straight through there, and then the defender has to make a choice to stop and jump to intercept it, or not.
Yeah.
He probably hears an up call, actually. He hears up and looks this way.
Yeah.
And he's not expecting it to come. Oh, shit, it's the other way. Pretty damn good throw, hey. Far out. That's a monster flick.
So, does this break the rule of thirds, or is it does break the rule of thirds, but it's perfectly fine to break the rule of thirds in that situation?
Are you talking about the rule of thirds, you don't throw on the same third? Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah.
So, like, if you split the field in thirds,
yeah,
like it's this is not a good shot, and this is a good shot, and this is a good shot.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, okay. It really depends on your team strategy and the player. So in that case, like, in terms of the rule of thirds, he is expecting it to come out this way, right? Because that would be the right third. This is a very low percentage shot.
Okay.
For sure. At this point in the game, that's like, oh man. Oh, that's a big shot to be making. They call timeout. You can see it's a very clear one handler back as a dump. It's an ISO 1v1 in the stack, and your stack's out the way. Mm-hmm. This guy is looking to intercept. Yeah, this is probably not a bad defensive setup. You're relying on your mark not getting broken. Yeah, damn, too easy.
Big bid.
The defender shouldn't have been beaten under. Yeah, this defender has to stop this. Like, the defender has to stop this space here. The mark is stopping anything around, but he just gets beaten in a foot race, like, directly forward. It's too easy. Very hard to stop, though. You're set up in a one-on-one with a lot of space. They've probably put their fastest, best, little short space cutter in the middle. It's asking a lot.
Yeah, the little turbo.
Yeah. Jackson Kyle.
Jackson Kyle, man.
Yeah, there we go. Here's the split stack we've been seeing before, but now you've got your 3 on the left, and the 2 in the front are isolated cutters, and they're in front of the disc. So this is like, and they actually cut this time. So the front person goes deep, the deep person comes under. So like that's what they were trying to get off the last few. And you can see how good the heads of state little junkie zone is. They stop the play. Heaps of pressure. Often Div 1 teams, you'll run down in not match to start with. You'll run down in something to interrupt whatever the offensive call is. And then you'll like collapse eventually into a match.
Yeah.
It actually looks like they're in a zone. Here's is that Khalif maybe? Very experienced defender. You watch, like, he's actually not looking at the frisbee. He's looking in this direction and this direction. He's looking out to see where the threat's coming from and taking it.
Yeah.
So you just watch he'll turn around eventually. Yeah, like he's actually barely looked at the frisbee. He's really looking over his shoulder to see what's happening. Now they've gone to match, maybe? Yeah, they're matched now. This is probably the first time I've seen one of the very experienced Sublime guys like asking for some structure, like trying to take control, slow it down. I probably would have liked to have seen that a bit earlier in the game. Like, just be a general command.
Yeah.
Tell your team where to be and what to do. Yeah, this point's been a really nice point so far for both teams. So heads of state can down in their zone. Look, the moment they transition to match, the Sublime guys are still cutting like it's a zone. So that's when Jackson's like, everyone get in a stack. We can be in a stack now because they're playing match. And he just like takes a little bit of time to organize things, slow down the tempo, get people ready to play match. And you need your best players to do that. Nice throw. I love that point from both teams, actually. That was a really good Sublime O point and a really nice zone transition as well.
Just good frisbee.
Yeah, it was a good point. I love seeing Jackson like just take control like that. Slow it down.
Yeah, we give him a lot of flack, but he is a very good frisbee player.
You got to. Oh, Jackson's a superstar, man. No doubt.
And he's worked so hard this season.
That's a great shot.
Dude is ripped at the moment.
Oh, fuck yeah. Totally agree. Yeah, this is probably not a great... hard to say. Tom Della, the deep cutter, is a very big receiver. So, like, you'd probably back him in. Nice lane to throw into. He's got good separation on his defender. But you can get away with being... He's so far away from the thrower. You can get away with it more downwind.
Yeah.
So the throw goes much faster. You can throw it heaps further. It just goes far, and then there's no way the defender can get in there without fouling. And it's baby. And were we forcing backhand that? Yeah, it's a backhand force. Not much you can do. Although I will say,
I think that's actually...
Look at him drift. He's drifting already. He's looking. He's seen that, like, one of these two defenders needs to be standing there.
Yeah.
So you need this person or this person, one of them, to probably be up here. And the two reasons are you can stop Tom from scoring, but you're also like helping out this person deep.
Yeah.
So that was it's just a lapse, and by the time he realizes, it's too late. Can't make up the ground. Tom Dell is like 6'2".
Yeah, it's such a tactical game, actually. Positioning is so important.
Is that the end?
That's the game. Pete Eley, thanks so much for being here and sharing your expertise. What are your final thoughts on the game?
I have a lot of thoughts about that game, but I guess the big thing for me is like that was a game on day 3 at Nationals, and Sublime, by the looks of this photo, there's only is this roster of 16, and I think from memory, a couple of those guys were already injured at this point and didn't even play. So did you only have like 14 guys running that game, Jules?
I think at that point, like, we had 14 technically, but two of which were, already so injured but still playing.
Yeah. Look, with that in mind, I would say that's a really excellent effort by the boys. Like, only taking 16 players to national is never going to yield good results, in my opinion. There's so many good players and good teams these days. If you have your best players grinding out points on day 1 and day 2, which Sublime did, like games that went all the way to Universe Point, and that meant like players like Monty and Bennett and Kyle and Jackson just had to play so many points in day 1 and day 2. By the time you get to the knockout games and like the important games late in the tournament, you just run out of legs, especially from your like top players. But to keep up with HOS and only lose by a couple in the end, HOS was one of HOS was a really strong team at this Nationals. So it's a pretty good effort, to be honest. Yeah, I think they're probably my final thoughts. There's so many good pieces in the Western Australian teams in Sublime always. Like, the athleticism is as good as everybody else. But it just comes a little bit down to depth, and yeah, that impacts you at the tournament, and then it also impacts your ability to train leading into the tournament to get like really good competition and push each other to, go that next level.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, Pete. Once again, thanks so much for being here. For those who want to just watch the game with some commentary, we've got commentary by Doc. That'll be linked down below. And yeah, thanks everyone so much for being here. And thanks again, Pete. We'll catch you on the next one.
See you, Jules.
Boys to pull their candles out and lay them at your feet. I swear on my immortal soul, your voice still lingers in my bones. I stay victimless, sorcery. Just please don't let me